This may be the most depth you've had at tackle since you've been here, or kind of how does it compare to some of these previous classes you've had?
Some young guys, they give me a hard time about that. I tell them, hey, the way I was taught, look after yourself. I'm going to fill my room up till the head coach says stop. So, it's a blessing to have, and especially quality depth. We got, I think every guy in our room is capable of contributing this fall. And so you guys have heard me say it before. I think that competition makes everybody better. And so when they know they got to fight to get to play in preseason camp, and not only that, but week to week. Because you started against Auburn don't mean you're going to start the next week. And so I think they understand that. We've been together long enough now. Even the two freshmen know they got to go compete to get on the bus. So it makes all of us better.
What does Carlos Watkins mean to your room?
Just that senior leadership with game experience, that been there, done that kind of thing, that I think is really valuable. I think it's one of the best decisions of his life. It's all got to play out, but I think that was really a good decision after the unfortunate year that he had to take off and to come back. And I thought he really started to get into what we thought he could be last year. And now I think everybody knows about him by making an all-conference type player. And so expectations are high, and he knows that. So good book tells us, much is given, much expected. So he has all the tools. He's long, he can run, he's strong, just great size for the position. So he has all the tools to be what everybody's looking for at that position.
How unique is it to be able to move Christian Wilkins, play him both on the inside and out, and how much of a luxury is that for you going into next season?
Well, it's a great luxury for us because that's just what we just said about game experience. That's what we don't have on the outside. We've got game experience on the inside with Pagano and Watkins and Christian, and then you've got some other guys. Albert and Grill played some, but outside you just don't have that. So that'll all play out as we go through, but it's a great luxury to have a guy who's athletic enough to be able to do both. And I've had a few guys in my past that have been able to do that, but it takes a unique athlete. In today's game, the speed of things and all the zone reads and zone read options, for a guy to be able to go outside and play, it's totally two different positions, and Coach Hobby will tell you the same thing. So for a guy to be able to do that, he's got to understand our whole package and what we're doing.
Everybody's healthy. How many healthy guys do you want in a rotation at DT?
Well, I always have said since doing this for a long, long time, I think you'd love to have 5 guys that you felt good about putting in every game. Now, if you have a guy that goes inside and outside, you'd love to have 5 ends, because all you got to do is get a start and end hurt. Well, all of a sudden the second teamer's the starter, so now that other guy's in the 2 deep rotation. So if you have a bonus guy, past that 5, but ideally you'd like to have 5 guys inside, 5 guys outside that you feel really good about putting in the game.
If you have 5 or even 6 inside, is it likely that Christian could just move full time to end, or do you see him bouncing back and forth all year?
I honestly, you sit here and think, well, I don't know, because when we start practice, I think Cleveland Pearl had a great spring practice. He hasn't played in a game. Christian has played in 15 games at this level. So I always try to say, it's our guys. They're Clemson players. They're not my players. They're not Coach Hobby's players. We're going to get the best 4 out there. And then who's the next 4? Christian Wilkins will be in that mix, right, as a starter. He's earned that. Whether it's out there or whether it's inside, that a lot depends on development of some other guys, and so the blessing is what you asked earlier, is that we know that at any point in time, I feel like in a game, he could start the game at 3 technique, and we were to get a guy nicked, he could go outside and play in. He understands it well enough. He is a unique character in that he really studies the game. Most of the guys, my guys, a lot of times just watch tape, but he studies the game. He understands everything we're trying to do, at any position up there.
Who does he study? You know, former Clemson guys or NFL guys?
I don't think it's as much as that. It's just studying our scheme. You know, it's a lot of understanding what do you do, and then takes coaching well, how to do it. You know, he's one of them guys that stays after practice every day. I talk to my guys all the time about you have tools, and he sharpens his tools. You know, your eyes, your hands, and your feet. And you have to train all those, and I think he does a good job of that. But I'm not saying he studies an individual player at all. But when we start looking as we're preparing for a game, he's going to study the guards and the centers and their offensive line makeup. And if that tackle's blocking down on the guards, pull him what's happening to him. Now he's got to take it to a different level with the end of that tackle blocking down. And people today are running all kind of things across our defensive end's face that don't mean anything at all to him, and he's got to ignore it all and do his job. But he will study that part. And the thing with Christian, if he's not comfortable doing something, he'll let you know that. Coach, I'm not sure I can do all that. Well, he'll let you know that part. Well, then we have to make that, because you want to call things that they feel comfortable about executing. But I'm not saying he studies a player as much as he just studies the game.
What has it been like for you working with Coach Hobby as Christian cross-trains between those two positions? How do you two balance that in terms of coaching him?
Great. Marion Hobby is a great football coach and a great person. So there's never been an issue at all, and there won't be. And there's not with Coach Venables. He knows we just started spring practice. We started Christian off inside, went a few days and just started flipping him out there in an inside drill, and as he could handle some of that. But it's great. Marion Hobby is an excellent football coach, so he's going to prepare him for what he's got to do outside. But at the same time, as we put in things, I'm going to go over everybody in my room, you know. So we always say we'd like to have the best two on the field inside, the best two outside. Now, who's the next best football player? So he could go in the game at any of those spots, really, if he needed to in a game. So that's a comfort level. But Coach Hobby and I have known each other a long time. He was on our staff at Tennessee.